Okay, this is the third time I tried to make this video. Let's not take us long this time. But hey, Marvel, when I was saying the stuff about Bruce Banner and him dying and him taking on Jen, I didn't mean that to be actually the thing that would happen. Welcome to another episode of Pop Culture Hall of Shame. I am the Pop Culture Otaku, and today we're taking a look at Civil War issue 2 and 3. There is some moments in comics that you just shake your head, scratch your head, and I'm not gonna say that issue 3's death something to be shaking your head at. It's understandable in the situation. They fear for life. They fear for a lot of people's lives. My problem with issue 3 is it goes down with not one mention of the sensational She-Hulk Jen Walters. Now, think about this for a second here. The Hulk, Bruce Banner, formerly Hulk, Bruce Banner, is Jen Walters' cousin. He dies, right? Right? And this may be not her series. She's not starring in the series, but this series affects her deeply at the roots because of the fact of this happening, right? You think it would have something? There'd be some kind of follow up to what she does in the issue, right? Something? Anything? Nope. Nothing. And what's worse is the person that kills him is one of her good friends, one of her longtime teammates, Hawkeye. Now, Hawkeye is an interesting case. Him and Jen used to be very close. I don't be close as good friends, and they may not be as much as talk as much as they used to, but at one time they were pretty good friends, probably best friends. I'm still sure if they called up, they'd still be that close before this happened. Because you see, Hawkeye and Jen's relationship is sort of weird. When Jen was in that trouble after she lost control of her powers for a while, thanks to Jack of Hearts. Yeah, it was Geoff Jones was running on the Avengers. It's weird. It was good, but it is what it is. So, what happens later on is that when she gets into trouble, one of the people who comes out to help her, surprisingly enough, is Hawkeye. Hawkeye at the time wasn't really much of a Avenger. And it's telling and it's impactful how much a relationship that he comes out and helps her. It's even more telling is that when of their friendship is that when when he after he dies in an issue of her book gets transplanted to the future to tell it was some or like had to like there's some court case he had to testify because he's dead. They had to get a past version of him. It's comic books. It's complicated. It's complicated as all hell. But here's the thing. and here's the thing with that. She got in trouble because she went and tried to warn him, keep him from dying in Avengers Assembled House of M crap. So again, issue 3 happens with her not even involved in it, and two people very close to her dying, getting in deep trouble, deeply involved, and she doesn't even make an appearance. She's not talked about. People were trying to say Bruce, they're going to get Bruce to have her checked out. They didn't. They went and killed him. Well, I don't think the intention. They were there to arrest him, to bring him in, not to help her. Because again, Shield's never mentioned. They're bringing him in because they think he's gonna go kill people. They're gonna go lock him up, making sure he never does anything like that. They ain't there to fucking have him come help Jennifer Walters. That's not what the reason they're there. And I said that wasn't going to be there. And these two issues are really bad. It comes off in issue 2 that is just so pedestrian, where almost nothing happens. The plot moves nothing on. And issue 3, where the plot literally is like, issue is nothing, almost feels like nothing. Half the book feels like nothing that should be in the main story because they tell everything in flashback. This could have been used as like an issue of choosing side book. This wasn't an issue for the main series. This is a bad book. And if you say anything, oh, you just want spoil. No, I want some kind of explanation. I want to understand what's going on with Jennifer Walters. And you won't give us anything. You won't let the tie-ins do it, obviously, because Batman and Iron Fist are being told you're not allowed to say anything to her. But they'll go look at her. When we're going to see something in the A-Force when that comes out. That's if it's allowed. Anyone's allowed to. That's if that's allowed to say anything about it. Patsy's coming out. Patsy Walker Hellcat's coming out next week. Are we sure she's even going to be able to see her? Or even they're going to tell anything? Because given the fact that they're not even let Power and Iron Fist in, they're not going to let Patsy in. Patsy's our employee for an employee and a friend. Plus than that, Power and Iron Fist. I'm sure if Hawkeye fucking showed up, they probably wouldn't even let her in. It just doesn't make any sense going on in issue 3. In issue 3, again, here's the thing with issue 3. Issue 3 told flashback, so there's really no reason Jen should be up by the time Hawkeye's in trial. Hawkeye is on trial. Because it takes months. It takes a long time. So you can't take this say, oh, well, they put him right in trial early. No, it doesn't. There's a system for that. It would take months and maybe years before Hawkeye would go to trial, especially in New York. Even for expedition, if they like, well, it's for a speedy trial, right? Because I know this thing because I've learned a lot watching television, watching the news, watching these things, and I guess saying watching Law and Order or somewhat. You can't just fucking cannot ignore the issue that they're ignoring the elephant in the room. They won't answer anything. I asked the question that the actual charge message. They didn't ask it. They didn't bother to try to ask it. didn't bother to try to get it resolved. Brian Michael Bendis is ignoring me again. I said, where was She-Hulk in issue? So where's your 3? Why was She-Hulk not involved? Issue 3. He ignores me. And if he does, he'll probably say, well, you want spoilers? No, I want an explanation as to why a character so deeply involved with it. And pretty much she's more affected by anything else that happens in issue 3 more than anyone else. And there's nothing. She doesn't appear in the issue. She doesn't freaking get mentioned. Just left on a slab with no explanation, really, pretty much. It's so frustrating that this story is so bad. It's not moving anywhere. The plot line's not moving anywhere. What little plot there is at this point beyond Ulysses' vision and the supposedly fighting is not going anywhere. So it's only 3 issues in. Well, 3 issues in, you expect something to be happening, some kind of plot, and there isn't. Only really 5 issues in. There isn't. There is no conflict. It's supposed to Civil War. The conflict hasn't even looked like it started. They're not fighting, they're not arguing, they're not going to battle, they're not doing anything. They're just there. And that's the problem. You were expected to just take expected to say, oh, it's fine, it's perfectly, there's no reason wrong, there's nothing wrong with, but there is. We're getting 5 issues in a 3 issues in a 7-issue miniseries. Really 9 if you get the other 2 issues. All these tie-ins, and it feels like nothing is getting accomplished. Except a couple of people dying. That's War Machine and the Incredible Hulk dying. That's the only thing it got accomplished. And guess what? As I said, Jen's injuries could have not have happened. And guess what? You know what the funny thing is? Jen's injuries could not have happened. You just can't have Rodney die. You could have still gotten the same emotional impact because his ties to Rodney and Rodney's ties to Carol and Tony. Her injuries literally mean nothing to the story. Because they didn't go get Bruce for her. They didn't go get Hawkeye didn't, everything else that ties into the story didn't happen because of her. It really happened, Tony goes to capture Ulysses because of Rodney's death. Not her injuries, his death. She's such an afterthought that the tie-ins give more thought of what's going on with her than the actually main book. And you're not even allowed to say anything. You're not even allowed to resolve it. They're not even allowed to give anything on it. And that's wrong. This series is bad. This event is shit. This may be one of the worst fucking events ever in Marvel comic book history, and that's saying something. It's leading into even something more stupid. I'm thinking of doing another video, but there has to be a separate thing where I really just digress into the Marvel Now. And I'm sure there will be more next week at San Diego Comic-Con about it. But Marvel Now is looking like really garbage. If this is the future of Marvel, there is no future. There won't be a future. There won't be a future because Warner Bros. Will leave. If Marvel thinks they can live by whatever the hell speculator, whatever the hell new speculator thing people are buying up issues of Civil War and Iron Man just because it might sell again somewhere down the line. You ain't gonna work out well. Ask DC how that worked. Ask the people who worked at Marvel 10 years in the 90s how that worked. Ask DC how your mentality with diversity over fans, caring more about about supposedly making your line diverse instead of celebrating your diversity, is worked for DC. Has been working for DC. Oh wait, they just did Rebirth. You're making the same mistakes DC did at lesser skill, but even stupider ways. I've got nothing against James Foster Thor. I'm just not really interested in reading a character with cancer. I was not really interested. I never liked when Firestar was given cancer in Marvel Divas. I was never a fan of that whole storyline that all of a sudden our powers were giving her cancer. I was never a fan of I was not a fan of Kyle Rayner when he first replaced Cal Jordan. That's how far back my thing with Placement Heroes is. I'm not a fan of Riri Williams, Doctor Doom. Oh, you're just racist or whatever. No, you know what? If it was just Doctor Doom, I'd still be pissed. You don't get it. Doctor Doom, stupid. It's Replacement Heroes. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna turn it all back around to She-Hulk. If they fucking replace She-Hulk with somebody, there will be fucking even more people angry than they are now. Because there's no reason she's not healing. They won't explain it, and everybody says they don't have to explain it. Yes, they do. Just come up and saying she's in a coma, we don't have to explain it, is dumb. It's not good writing. It's not good storytelling. It's not any of it. And it's just to let it pass because they don't want to give us an explanation is stupid. It's dumb. And the comic book resources people are totally, on the message boards, are totally wrong. There should be an explanation. There should be a story told. There should be something. You just can't leave it at that. You just can't leave a character like that. You can't. People, especially in this day and age, because people ask. There's conventions and people stuff. You're making a mistake, Marvel. But prove me wrong. You have still a chance to prove me wrong. So, that's gonna be it for episode 2 of Pop Culture Hall of Shame. A little bit shorter than the second attempt. This is actually the third attempt.